Hola, welcome to Nourished Sundays. I'm your host Joanna and I'm certified in holistic nutrition from the Canadian School of Natural Nutrition. This series is all about healthy eating, which can be a very abstract and daunting topic because we get so much conflicting information we get so much information to start with that it can be really hard to know what to implement, to even feel like we can add that to our days. So through this series, I'm hoping to make things a bit smoother for you, especially if you're feeding little ones who may be picky eaters, and that can add a lot of stress at home. Today's topic is about iron. And I want to talk more specifically about iron fortified food and supplements. So, iron is very, very important for the body, and we know that. Our blood needs a lot of iron, right? And there are many research that demonstrate that. So we know that iron is very important for us, and it's also super, super important for the neurological development of kids, babies, and the postpartum body for the recovery after giving birth. We've lost a lot of blood and the placenta left, so it's a lot of things we need to get iron into our body, and also kids need a lot of iron to grow healthy brains and also a good function of the body. So on the market, we see a lot of food that is fortified with iron, and logically we would think, oh, that's great, I need that for my baby, right? And a lot of baby stuff have extra iron, right? But I want to give you a little bit of a warning sign here. Studies have shown that the iron used in fortification of food is not processed by our bodies the same way that naturally occurring iron is. So synthetic, inorganic iron that you can find in prenatal vitamins, in babies' foods, and added to a lot of stuff, like even for adults, right? Fortified in iron, woo! This iron is not absorbed by our bodies the same way as naturally occurring iron is. So basically, it's not that useful for our body, and it can even have negative effects. And that's based on research and studies. If you have experience during iron pills treatment, you may have experienced constipation, for example, as a very unpleasant side effect. But with naturally occurring iron, it shouldn't be happening that way, and our bodies should really be absorbing more of it. Besides, another thing that studies have shown is that in order to absorb iron well, we need to have it in combination with vitamin C. Now, how many of the fortified foods or the synthetic vitamins have added vitamin C into the mix to help with that? And by vitamin C, it's again naturally occurring vitamin C. So they need to go together to be absorbed well. That's what our bodies need naturally. So instead of reaching to artificial synthetic pills or feeding your little ones with fortified iron food, I encourage you to try a few other things. So first, for moms, parents in the postnatal phase especially, and monthly as women, we also need extra iron support. I highly recommend this brand, Floravit. This is the supplement I have been taking, and I really love it because, you can get a version that's yeast and gluten-free, and that's great because you don't want to add yeast to your body. But because this is a mix of fermented foods that are rich in iron, so it comes from the actual food, so it's naturally occurring iron, not synthetic. And it's, again, it has the combination of the elements you need to really absorb it. So this is really, really good. I recommend you checking it out and trying that. I mean, really, if you follow the guidelines, it cannot harm you. And you may well notice that it goes much better for you than synthetic iron. And also, I'm going to share with you some foods that are naturally rich in iron that you may want to incorporate more in your diet and also in your kids' diet. So first off, liver. Woo! Liver is jam-packed with iron. And that includes cod liver. So, not necessarily only a land animal's liver, and there's different ways to prepare liver. I know some of you, it may not sound like the best thing ever, but there are recipes that make it really, the flavor so much nicer. I personally don't like the flavor of liver, but I've tried it in some ways that is easier to eat and that tastes actually good. Like when you when you add like bread crust around it, and the spices you use really can change that flavor. And again, cod liver too is another option. Second, oysters. So I know if you don't live by the sea, it may be harder to get oysters, but like even the canned oysters, and if you can get fresh oysters and you enjoy them, then great, it's full of iron. Number 3, sardines. Again, if you don't live by the ocean, may need to get it in a can, but there are some pretty good products in the market now. Number 4, nuts and seeds, and particularly pumpkin seeds are huge in iron. And those are delicious. You can incorporate them into your baking, have them as just the snacks, just as is for you and for your kids. And last but not least, number 5, I believe, yes, number 5 is quinoa. So quinoa is a delicious grain. If you have not tried it, please do. Again, make sure that you choose wisely, because it's so popular now that you can really get a whole range of quality in terms of the types of quinoas you can find, but if you can find organic one, that should already be a big bonus. And if you've seen my video about grains, make sure that you soak it up overnight before cooking it. It's gonna make it, again, healthier, even healthier for you, and then the iron in it will be easier to absorb for your body. There you go. That was it for today about iron and fortified iron supplements and foods. I hope that it was helpful. Feel free to reach out if you have questions, comments. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week. In the meantime, eat well and be well. Ciao.